Sorry, I've been a minute. I've been busy having a birthday. Hey there, welcome to my channel. This is Foggy Fiction, and I am Haley. I'm a writer living with mental illness, doing my best to show that mental health does not dictate talent or worth, and hoping to encourage others to chase their dreams. If you're new to my channel, I try to post 1 to 2 videos per week, usually about things related to writing, reading, and mental health, but sometimes I get off topic, and that's okay too. And if you're not already subscribed, I'd love if you'd hit that button and join me on this journey. In today's video, we are doing 30 facts about me. Why? Because this past Friday was my birthday, and I turned 30, so I thought this would be a fun idea. I'm breaking it down into 3 groups: 10 writing facts, 10 reading facts, and 10 mental health facts about me, since those are what my videos are usually about. So let's get to it. We'll start with the writing facts. Number 1, I wrote my very first story ever when I was 7 years old, but I was in 3rd grade when I realized I wanted to be an author. Number 2, my goal is to be published by the time I'm 35. It feels a lot closer now that I'm 30. Number 3, I write mostly contemporary fiction now, but I started out writing mostly horror. Number 4, I most prefer to write in first-person present tense, and I don't understand why it gets so much hate on AuthorTube. Number 5, my first big, this is going to get my name out there story was about a female assassin named Nicolette who had grown bored with her job. I started writing it when I was in high school, and I have yet to finish it. I do intend to go back to it someday, though it needs a lot of work. And yes, it starts out with her waking up. Number 6, I have an extensive back catalog of poetry and short stories that I've written, and I do intend to arrange them into collections to be published someday. Bonus fact, I'm also considering publishing those self-pub, as I kind of like the idea of being a hybrid author. Number 7, I am an underwriter who fast drafts. Number 8, my first book, MH, that's the code name, is about a girl who survives a fatal car accident and her journey with grief and mental illness following that. It is very loosely inspired by my own experience. Number 9, my second book, AR, is about a young woman in an abusive relationship, and it is also very loosely inspired by my own experience having been in one. And number 10, I want MH to be the first book that I ever get published, but something tells me AR will see the world first. Alright, now let's move on to 10 reading facts. Number 1, my favorite genre to read is post-apocalyptic fiction, but I do not write in that genre. Number 2, the other genre I'm most likely to pick up is romance. Number 3, I am currently in a book slump. Number 4, my favorite author is Bobby Adair, and his Slow Burn series is my favorite of his writing. If you haven't already guessed it, he writes post-apoc fic. Number 5, my favorite romance author is Lindsay Sands, and I've been reading her Argento series since I was 16. Number 6, between my 2 favorite authors alone, I have read 35 books so far. Still reading their stuff. Number 7, my favorite book as a toddler was The Foot Book. My parents read it to me so much that I actually memorized the whole thing and almost had them convinced that I'd learned how to read already. Number 8, I don't like to read books that don't have happy endings, though a few have squeaked by that I did enjoy. There have also been a few that I thought were amazing until I got to that ending, and it ruined the book for me. The funniest thing about this is a lot of my short stories have endings that are not happy, and I love them. Number 9, I read a lot of comics and graphic novels, and I mean a lot. And number 10, I see memes all the time talking about how readers can't pick just one favorite book, but that has never been an issue for me. My favorite book has been The Stand by Stephen King, specifically the extended and uncut version, since I was 16. And Swan Song by Robert McCammon is a close second that I read just a few years after that. Actually, I don't even think it was a few years. I think I read it like within a year after that. After that, it gets a little murky, but I've never understood why it's so hard for readers to pick their favorite. Although with that said, I can't pick a favorite song, so I guess I get it. And the last 10 facts I'm going to give you are about mental health. Number 1, I started this YouTube channel after talking to my therapist about how I wanted to be open about my journey with mental illness, to be the voice for others that I needed and didn't have not so long ago. Number 2, I have a very real fear that my openness about my mental illness will be a detriment to my writing career. Number 3, I completed EMDR trauma therapy earlier this year. I do believe it helped me a lot, but I still have a long way to go. Now that I have insurance, I'm hoping I can get cognitive behavioral therapy. We'll see. Number 4, many of my stories, including the short stories I wrote in college, include some element of mental illness. Number 5, I have anxiety attacks every single day, multiple times a day, and my panic attacks are down to a few times a week at this point, usually. Number 6, writing the funeral scene at the beginning of MH was one of the most difficult things I've ever had to write, as it very much reminded me of my own experience at my best friend's funeral following our car accident. That book in general was difficult for me to write, and it definitely got brought up a lot during therapy. Number 7, as As much as I love my channel and making videos for it, it takes so much energy to write up, film, edit, prepare, and post videos that it often takes me days to work myself up to it. And then of course I love how I feel after, but still. Number 8. One of my very first videos on this channel is so hard for me to watch because of the subject matter that I was barely able to get through editing it. I'll link it in the cards if you're curious, but trigger warning, I get extremely raw and emotional about my mental health journey. Number 9. There's a certain scene in AR that was based on something that happened to me, which made me want to write the book. Much like the funeral scene in MH, it was very difficult for me to write, but I felt like it was extremely important for me to include it in that story. I can't give any details as it is a major spoiler, but it's definitely based on one of the events I had to work through in EMDR therapy. And number 10, I'm not done writing stories about mental illness, and I'm not done talking about my journey either. And that's it! 30 facts about me now that I am officially 30 years old. I hope you enjoyed this list. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to come up with facts that I thought might be interesting. Did any of these surprise you? Do you have any questions about any of the facts that I gave today? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and more than that, enjoy the happy moments.